Is Lenore Luca. I'm 19 years old. I'm currently a freshman at Montclair State University. This is my campus, this is my life, so I hope you enjoy the not so sunny. That's what you get for living on a mountain. But anyway, we're not here to talk about the weather, even though I could probably go on about that forever. Mother Nature is killing us this year. Gotta tell you that, guys, it's killing us. Between Sandy and the snow, I just want summer. But I am a teenager. I'm 19, like I said. I'm a radio host, motivational speaker, and an author. And if you would have asked me what I was going to be 5 years from now, like 5 years ago, I don't even know if I'd be on this video. So, it's all my life started out, obviously when I was born, but it mostly started out when I was in 8th grade and I decided I wanted to become an actress and I wanted to be in the entertainment industry. And I always looked up to like the kid stars on Disney Channel, Nickelodeon, Lizzie McGuire. That was my favorite show ever. I met her once and I said, I was 13 too and I went to Italy. I didn't fall in love, but I walked where you walked. It was the awkwardest thing ever. But from that point on, I always knew I wanted to entertain people and be on television and just have a voice for the world. And there was this point in time where not that many of my friends, and including my family, where my dad was like, being an actress is a 1 in a million shot. Like, you have to really work and persevere and strive to do that. It's hard. And hearing that was really difficult. And to be honest, it was more difficult to see that I started taking acting classes and my younger brother Joe took them with me, and when we went to go audition, he'd be the ones getting all the callbacks and he'd be the ones getting the managers and the agents after them. And the worst part was that there was this one time where 6 managers wanted him, 1 wanted me, and 1 said, I want Joe, and if I get Joe, I'll take his sister Lenore too. So I was like, okay, this is interesting, thanks a lot. Sure I have a lot of talent here. And I think it was at that point, and then when my dad said that you always have to have a backup plan, I was really upset about that. I didn't like the fact that my own father didn't agree with what I wanted to do, but I know that he just basically wanted me to have a great future. And I understand that now looking back, but I was really upset at my dad. Don't get me wrong, my dad helps me out with everything. If it wasn't for him, I probably wouldn't be sitting here either, because he helps through school and he empowers me and inspires me to be who I am as well. So without like that support. But I decided that if I couldn't go out and entertain people through television shows and being on stage, might as well use my voice in a different way. So I decided to look for internships at 16, my sophomore year in high school. Somehow I landed this internship at Goom Radio, which was a huge internet station in 2010. And my boss happened to be 17, so he was only a year older than I was. And from working with him, he inspired me to want to go into radio. And I knew at that point that when the internship ended that I didn't want to stop. I was using my voice and I was able to do something I loved in semi of the entertainment industry, but do it in a way where it's a more promising career as well, that I can work hard to become somebody, to have a name in radio. So that's when I started to Google, like I was on the internet Googling all these different how to make like your own radio show, and I came across a server and a station, and I created Teen Groove on the Move when I was 16, my junior year in high school. My first show was, I believe, the first week of October in 2010. I had approximately 2 listeners. One was probably my parents in the next room over, and one was probably like my friend that was like my boss back when I started out like 3 months ago. And I didn't know what to talk about. I was like, yeah, I was born on February 18th, 1994. I liked the color purple. I played the piano. I did the violin. I semi-sang. And starting from there, I realized that I liked to talk, and it was what I wanted to do. And I did that from my junior to senior year to now in college. And Teen Groove on the Move has grown, and I've grown with it, has grown with me, and the fan base and the family has grown all together. And I realized that without that platform, I wouldn't have made so many different friends or connections or be where I am. And I know I keep saying be where I am today, but it's something that I like to say, that every choice you make like helps towards your future and paves a path. And I realized that every choice I made makes me who I am. And that's a message that I want everybody else out there to hear, is that every choice that they make helps them become the better person that they could be in the future. So I started doing that, the teen group on the move, and trying to interview different celebrities and covering different events and the whole spiel of running the red carpet, where it's like, what do you think about that? Okay, cool, next person. It was embarrassing at times, it was fun. And then I realized that, it was just one point I realized that some people were calling me from like Australia. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, you're what, 16 hours ahead? Aren't you supposed to be in school? Or it's somebody in like Britain and England or somewhere in Europe. And I'm like, wait, it's 7 o'clock. What are you, like 6 hours ahead? Why aren't you sleeping? I wouldn't even want to listen to my voice. Why are you up? And it was that time when they started asking me questions for advice and for help, I realized that I can not only use my voice to entertain people or to ultimately entertain myself to get a kick out of me, but to help everybody else, to use my voice in a positive way, in a positive manner, to inspire people. And that's what I started to do. And as much as I love talking in the microphone and like screaming at it and screaming at the computer and the wall, pretending like someone's there that's listening to me, I decided to bring my message to more and more people. So that's how I wanted to become a motivational speaker and speak to my peers and speak to my generation to want to be the best that they can be. And it's so cheesy to say follow your dreams and achieve your goals and blah, 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 everything your parents tell you since you were born. But sometimes you need to have those things instilled in your brain to make right choices, to take responsibility for your action. And from talking to kids, there was this one time that I'm never going to forget, and that's when I realized that I was using my voice in a positive way, is this girl comes up to me after my first ever speaking engagement, and she's bawling her eyes out. I'm like, okay, great. Lovely. I made a 16-year-old girl cry. Fantastic. It's what I'm here to do. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. Please calm down. And like my brother's next to me. He's like, it's okay, it's okay. I'm sorry if my sister offended you in any way. She offends me too sometimes. And the girl's like, no, she did the exact opposite. It's that I guess everything I was saying about being who you want to be and not who your parents and your friends want you to be really stuck to her. And she was saying that it was something that she was struggling with, and she was struggling to be who she was, and her parents weren't accepting her, and she wants to be who she is, but nobody would let her. And she was bawling her eyes out because she's like, I heard it from somebody, and I finally heard it from you, and I'm gonna go out and do what you said and do what I believe, and I'm gonna stand up to my friends and stand up to my parents and tell them who I really am. And I was like, I did all that in like an hour. Man, I felt good. And it was like, you can't even explain that feeling that from helping somebody. And it was the coolest thing ever. And from that point on, I realized that I don't care if I talk to 1,000 people. As long as one person relates to what I have to say, or one person takes what I'm saying and the messages I'm saying and they relate it to their own lives and be a better person, that's all I can ask for. All I'm asking for is for somebody to be confident, for you to be confident, for me to be confident. It's like things that we struggle with every day. And from speaking, I decided to write a book. God, I don't know how I did that, but I wrote a book, and it's right here. It's called How to Be a Teen on the Move, with the beautiful people walking across the cover, like they're on the move, get it? Like walking in school. Thought it was kind of clever. Anyway, this is the book. It's called How to Be a Teen on the Move, and basically there's just like strategies and tips to help you follow your dreams and achieve your goals, to take responsibility for your action, make every choice count. Know that you're going to make mistakes. I'm not perfect. I'm not up there to preach, don't do this, don't do that, because I don't do this, I don't do that. That's not true at all. I'm your typical teenage freshman in high school, and I was your typical teenage senior in college. Senior in high school. I'm your typical teenage freshman in college, and I was your typical teenage senior in college that wanted to have fun, make mistakes, and just learn from them. But that's the point. The point is, as long as we each make our own mistakes and we learn from what we have to do, then that's all that really matters. And if you own up to who you want to be and you own up to the mistakes that you make, it just makes you a better person. And like I said before, I know I keep repeating, makes you a better person, makes you a better person. It's not what I think that makes you a better person. It's what you think. It's ultimately all the actions and the choices you make, and not conforming to what society's a big word. I'm apparently not allowed to use that in my essays anymore. It's too broad. But what society or what people expect you and who they expect you to be. And that's the whole point of this. The whole point is to follow your dreams and never give up. And regardless about what your dreams and your goals may be, do them. No one's stopping you but yourself. And that's what brought me here today. And yes, it was a transition to becoming a teenage entrepreneur, to trying to become an adult and living the best of both worlds, of going out and hanging out on the weekends with your friends and knowing when it's time to do your homework and when to do your work. And there have been times where I probably locked myself in my room, a lot of times, locked myself in my room, cried, blasted the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC, a little bit of Big Time Rush in there sometimes, old school Britney and Christina. I think that's how you can tell I was born in the 90s. And it's hard. Life is hard. It's not just something that I struggle with or you struggle with. It's something that everybody else does. And that's what people need to know, that life is a constant up and down roller coasters. But it's how you take action and how you push through those obstacles, which makes you who you are. See, I keep coming right back to that. And it was a hard transition from high school to college and becoming the person and having people here at school accept me for the weird, crazy, awkward person that I am today. And I'm glad that I found friends throughout the way that have stuck with me, and that even if we did have obstacles and we had ups and downs, that we pushed through them and we became closer. And there was a time where my friends in high school, they didn't believe in me, or they didn't understand exactly what I was doing and how it would help me in any way, and they didn't believe in me either. And that was a time where I figured out I had to find friends that did believe in me and surround myself with a group of people who wanted to achieve goals and wanted to push towards a better future as well. So if there's one message that I want to leave you with, or leave the world with, is just be yourself. Be honest. Grab a copy of the book. I had to plug that in there, guys. I had to plug that in there. You can get it at LenoreLuca.com. Be yourself, be confident, be awkward and crazy. There's this girl, her name is Sarah. She's a huge fan of the show, and she calls in all the time. And we made up this thing about gold stars, and it was all about how if you do something cool, you do something amazing, embrace your awkwardness, you get a gold star. So I give out gold stars to random people. Invisible, obviously. I mean, if I had stickers and stamps, I'd go around stamping and sticking everybody. But then I'd probably lose friends that way because they think I'm more weird and more awkward, and then I'd just be embracing myself. And that's it. That's the message. The message is to be who you are. Don't stop being who you are, and just follow what your heart does. And you're going to make mistakes. Everyone's going to make mistakes, and it doesn't matter. It just matters where you see yourself in the future, and if you know you're in the right path, in the right way, and if you believe in yourself. And I know it's hard sometimes, because sometimes I don't believe in myself. And it's just a struggle that we all have to push through to the end of the time. And to think that our generation one day is going to be running the world is a scary thing. And that's coming from somebody that is part of that generation. It is a scary, scary, scary thing. But I have faith in you, and I have faith in myself, and we should all have faith in each other to be the best that we can be, to bring this world to a better place. So that's the message I'm going to leave with everybody. If you'd like to listen to the show, Teen Groove on the Move, you can tune in every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For all of you people in California, you're 3 hours behind us, and you're in nice weather, and I'm jealous, but still tune in. When you get off that school bus, tune in at your time. And who knows, maybe you could be talking to your favorite celebrity guest or your role model, or to just tell me about how your school day was. Did you get hit in the head with a locker? I've had that happen to me too. We can bond over those awkward situations, or you just want to talk about nonsense. I'm there. And who knows, maybe I'll see some of you guys in my current book signings that are coming up. I have a few coming up in the next couple months, and you can check that out more at LenoreLuca.com. And I hope to see you all, and yeah, I'm going to see you around. And if you see me, don't hesitate to say hello. Just say hi. It may be an awkward situation, but we'll just laugh about it in the end. Who knows? We can become BFFs and best friends for the rest of life. You never know. You could be at my wedding.
Done?
Yeah, do you want me to go on more?